Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I'll have a Vice City story stream in 30 to minutes to an hour. If after this video, if you want to come hang out with me on that, I answer any questions people ask me. But anyways, today we got a crazy current events video that I want to talk about this with the GTA 6 hacker. So the GTA 6 hacker has been assessed unfit for trial. And I'm going to explain what I believe this means, and I'm going to react to this. This is also in Great Britain, so this is British law. But teen Uber hacker Ariane Courtage, if I'm reading that correctly, assessed unfit for trial. After the psychiatrist assessment of the teen's mental health, it was decided that the jury will only conclude whether the teen committed the crime or not. And I'll link the article down below. A teenage boy from the Lapsus hacking group arrested on charges of breaching Uber and other companies was assessed as not fit for trial. The Uber hackers' court proceedings will not deliver a guilty or not guilty verdict on Ariane Courtage, one among the two key players arrested for several high-profile cyber attacks. After the psychiatrist's assessment of the teen's mental health, it was decided that the jury will only conclude whether the teen committed the crime or not. So this is not going to go to trial. Instead, the jury is just going to determine whether whether he committed the crime or not, which he's probably going to get a much lesser punishment for this. Now, for people wondering, what does that mean that he's unfit for trial? It could mean a number of things. For example, somebody could be insane. Somebody could be under the age, which in this case, that's what the court is looking at, because he is 18 years old right now, but actually when he committed the crime, he was 17 years old. And so that is why, that is probably the main reason on why they got those psychiatrists involved. But I'll tell you guys something, my personal thoughts on this. Look, I know that Rockstar does a lot of really scummy things, but no company deserves to get hacked, especially on a project that they have been working on for years. GTA 6 is going to be their largest video game ever that they've made, and imagine all the developers. I'm not just talking about the corporate, big shots. I'm talking about, the regular developers that, work hard on this game, only for some idiot to, come out there and leak it, and, this did damage to the game. This didn't help the game at all. But the psychiatrists, I disagree with them. I am not a mental health professional, but I can tell you that, in my personal opinion, in an American court of law, in order to, I know this is Britain, but I'm just comparing it to my country. In an American court of law, in order to prove that somebody has committed a crime, you need to demonstrate both mens rea and actus reus. Now, mens rea is the guilty state of mind. That's basically the intent. You had the intent to commit the crime. You prove that the person had a guilty state of mind, and then actus reus, which is the guilty act. So you prove that they had a guilty state of mind, they knew what they were doing, and they committed the guilty act. There are certain crimes that people can be charged with if they don't have a guilty state of mind. This is usually when people commit crimes that they don't realize they actually committed. For example, this would be a strict liability crime. So somebody might break a law that they don't realize is a law. But in this regard, though, I pretty much believe that there is intent. That's what I personally think. I think there very much is intent, and I think that by him doing all of this stuff, like if this 17-year-old, now 18-year-old kid, if he was smart enough to, pull off this giant of a hack, this giant of a breach, and also he's been part of some hacking group, and this has not been the first thing that he's hacked. If he is smart enough to pull all this stuff off, then he definitely knows what he's doing. I personally feel like he should be tried as an adult. I think that, yes, he was 17, but with the hack itself and all of that he did, I personally think that he very much knew what he was doing. I think that the psychiatrists here are making a big mistake. Uber hackers court proceedings. The teenager Ariane Courtage, 18, was arrested for the Uber cyber attack, Revolut security breach, Rockstar Games security incident, and NVIDIA Corp hacking. So there has been he's hacked into multiple companies. Courtage was accused along with another 17-year-old hacker from the Lapsus hacker group who could not be named. Now, the reason that the other hacker is actually not named is I believe that correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe that in British law that they actually, if you are under 18 years old and you are arrested, that it is illegal for the police to actually report your name to the media. They cannot show a picture of you, and they cannot show your name. And that's why we actually didn't know this hacker's name until, he was 18. But there's another 17-year-old here who their name isn't being revealed because they're not 18 yet. The Uber hackers court proceedings are going on in the London court as Courtage was from the UK. He, along with the fellow accused, was charged on counts of blackmail, fraud, and computer misuse act. Blackmail, that is basically when you threaten somebody, you tell somebody, do this for me or I'm going to release this. Fraud, he possibly was posing as somebody else, pretending to be somebody that he's not. And a computer misuse act, I'm guessing that would be using the computer itself to hack into different websites, different companies. Last week, prosecutors told jurors at London Southwark Crown Court that the 17-year-old accessed City of London's police cloud storage weeks after the police detained him in connection with the BT and EE attacks. So prosecutors told jurors at London Southwark Crown Court that the 17-year-old accessed City of London's cloud storage weeks after the police detained him. So this is that 17-year-old was with him. He literally hacked the London Police Department. He hacked the London Police, their cloud storage, possibly trying to erase any information that they had on him. So this 17-year-old also knows clearly what he was doing. He's trying to cover it up. Courtage thereafter went on a single cybercrime binge, first hitting Revolut and then Uber 2 days later before hacking Rockstar Games. The 17-year-old is on trial on 2 counts of blackmail, 2 counts of fraud, and 3 computer misuse act allegations pertaining to the hacking of BT and NVIDIA, all of which he denies. He previously pled guilty to 2 computer misuse act charges and 1 count of fraud. Wow. Ariane Courtage court proceedings and arrest. Ariane Courtage has been reported to recruit office insiders to gain access to systems to extort money. That is corporate espionage. Corporate espionage is basically when you try to get somebody in another company to sell you information. This is private information that can heavily damage the company. Also named White Doxbin on the cybercrime forums, Ariane bought the Doxbin website in 2019 to gain access to all the dumped personal information of users. He bought the site from the owner named KT. However, when he found he could not sustain the popularity of the site, he sold it back to KT. This time, the young hacker stole the docs data from the site and leaked it on the Lapsus Telegram channel. So Doxbin, I had no idea what that was. I looked it up, and Doxbin apparently is a website that has been shut down several times by authorities and is a website in which hackers steal personal information and use that to dox others, basically revealing their address, their full name, any other information. So he bought that site from the person who owned that site, KT, and when he wasn't making as much money as he thought he could from that website, he sold it back to KT, and he stole the docs data from the site and leaked it on the Lapsus Telegram channel. And it infuriated the community of the website, who then took to hacking Courtage himself. They hacked his personal information, including his school information, the IP address of every device he owned, and his mother's address. Ariane was arrested in Spain because he fled the country when doxers from the website reached his mother's home asking for him. He was arrested with 7 other Lapsus hackers. Wow, And the thing is, the way that this is describing this is he stole the information from that website, but that website also stole the information from other people. So both of those groups should not have had that information. And then he turned on this website, and he basically betrayed a group of hackers. And he thought it was a good idea to post all that information from their website. I don't know how he thought that those hackers wouldn't come after him, but these people, hack people looking for their names and addresses, and of course they're going to look for him. Uber hacker trial and Lapsus activities. First found in 2021, the Lapsus hackers started off targeting the Brazilian government. They stole millions of COVID-19 patient records. They targeted NVIDIA in 2022 and stole 1 terabyte of the company data along with all the GPU designs. A company, okay, but a government? What was the Brazilian government doing that they allowed themselves to get breached like that? They later launched several cyber attacks, usually targeting office employees to either cause MFA fatigue and gain login access or bribe insiders. The group has been reported to flaunt recruitment advertisements for company employees. They were found adding a description of the responsibilities showing that it was a low-risk profile. AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon insiders were offered over $20,000 a week. According to a Technology HQ report, they would ask one of their native English speakers to call the customer service, posing as their service provider or client. With the information gained from the insider, they would answer all the security questions on the call and get the information they would need to leverage it for further access. Lapsus hackers launched the Uber cyber attack in a similar fashion by sending repeated login requests and causing MFA fatigue. The hackers posing as the IT staff for Uber on Slack sent several multi-factor authentication notifications to the user in an hour. So I didn't know what MFA fatigue was, guys, and I had to look it up. MFA fatigue is basically when hackers will send they will send information to their victims with kind of like authentication messages. Basically kind of like two-factor logins. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know too much about this. I'm just trying to research this as much as I can. And it basically tricks the user into logging into their account. And that is apparently how they had hacked Uber. Pretty much all of these people in this story are scumbags. This guy who hacked, Rockstar is a scumbag. The other 17-year-old who also hacked is a scumbag. The people from the website, the Doxbin people, those people are scumbags also. They're also hackers. And when it comes to this kid, what I'll say about this is I hope that he faces the full penalty of the law. I really hope he does. Because he didn't just hack Rockstar. He hacked so many other companies. And there's people at Rockstar that worked hard on this game don't deserve this. Yes, I have my issues with Rockstar. They abandoned Red Dead Online and they do crap like GTA Plus. But I don't think that it's right for anybody to hack into another developer, especially when a developer is working so hard on a game that's going to be the largest game ever, one of the biggest video games of all time, that they put years and sweat into it. That's just not fair. That's not right. And I hope he faces the full penalty of the law. I hope he is tried as an adult, but unfortunately, looks like he's going to be mentally unfit for trial. So whatever punishment he gets, I'm really curious what the jury has to decide whether he's guilty or not. I'm really curious what the jury's going to decide, and I really hope that they're not swayed by this guy, because I don't know what these psychiatrists were thinking, honestly. If this kid was smart enough to pull off all of these hacks, all of this stuff, he definitely knew what he was doing. I definitely think he's fit to stand trial, and I don't know how any psychiatrist can honestly say otherwise. But we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what kind of punishment he gets. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.